October's box, the theme was the Woodsman, and there were, again, that was a mixed review box, but the knife of the month was kind of a wild, crazy blade. It was the Saberback Bowie, part of the Outdoor Edge Survival Series. I love this knife just based on the look of it, and they have a bigger model of this thing too. This is another Crocodile Dundee knife gone wild, in my opinion. I have not had the opportunity to take this out and use it outside of just testing it to see how it holds up and what it does, but the blade, if you remember, comes out of the box just wicked razor sharp. These teeth are totally effective. They will saw through a branch like nobody's business. So the Saberback Bowie is just a beast of a blade, half machete, half knife. Like starts off spear point with a beautiful recurve, has that really effective serrated teeth part in the spine. 65 MN carbon spring steel, very durable. When I was testing it out, it had a lot of resiliency. I haven't, again, taken it out like into the field to really hardcore test it, but I want to really, really bad. The blade is 10¼ inches. Your overall length, let me make sure I get the whole thing in frame there, is 17.4 inches overall. Rubberized handle, but it's a full tang knife and it's bolted in. The handle is pretty comfortable. I still would like something a little bit thicker and something that feels a little bit more durable than the rubberized handle that comes on it. Weighs in at 18.7 ounces. Not horribly expensive though. $44.95 Amazon Prime price. And this also comes in different sizes. So this is a smaller size. You can get them in larger sizes. It's a knife that just feels really, really good in your hand, and you just want to go slicing around with it. The sheath is very secure. You've got 3 snap closures to make sure that that knife is not going anywhere while you're walking around, but it suffers, you know, in my opinion, from the standard machete sheath style, where you've got that one belt loop, and that's the only way you're going to carry it around. However, it's Velcro, so you could adjust it to the size of your belt loop if you want, but I'd still prefer maybe some Molly or Tech-Lock style attachments to carry it in different ways. But that's really my only complaint about this. I know it's probably has the look of something you get in a cheap catalog, and I said that initially on the review, like, yeah, it looks a little cheap, but rarely do I find something of this size that feels that comfortable in my hand. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been threatening to go camping, you know, for like months and months, and I really need to go with my buddy Chris. I just haven't got the opportunity, so hopefully this summer sometime soon when I get this guy off and I'm done with physical therapy. Side note, physical therapists are horrible people. They hurt people for a living, and they enjoy it. Yeah. But I'd really love to get out in the woods and try this out. And I'm still toying with the idea of replacing this with something else, with like G10 or carbon fiber, but this is it's a really solid knife. I really do. And it looks cool. It just looks awesome. It's the kind of thing like in a movie, like the bad guy pulls out and chops off somebody's hand with. November, we had the Camping Comfort Box, and that was one where a lot of people thought that a lot of what came in it was crap. And I admit it was, I won't say the stuff was crap. I will say the stuff was not very survival oriented at all. A lot of plastic inflatable stuff that was, yes, for comfort. It was fluff. There was a light and a fan from China that I still haven't really used because why bother? Inflatable camping pillow and mattress that I have used that, yeah, it works, but I mean, you're camping. What's the point? I don't know. How many people are now going to accuse me of being sponsored by Coke because I drank one on camera? But the knife that came in, and I don't have it in front of me, but I do have it to do, I'm going to do a close-up view of it later. It's the Bokor Plus Tech Tool Outdoor. It's their version of a Swiss Army knife. And one thing that really upset me was a lot of people commented and called it a fake Bokor. And that's a little ignorant to me because obviously they don't understand that Bokor has several different product lines. Bokor makes their original Bokor knives. They have Bokor Plus and they have Bokor Magnum. Bokor Plus is a Bokor knife, but it is a lower end production from Bokor. They're all made in China. They're not made in Germany like I almost said real, like other Bokors are. It's a less expensive version. So it is a real Bokor knife, people. It is just not the higher end Bokor that you expect. So it's not a fake Bokor. It's still made by Bokor, and it's actually Bokor Plus knives are pretty solid. yes, they're cheap, but they're pretty solid knives. So let's take a look at the Bokor Plus, because it is a great alternative to an actual Victorinox, and it's not cheap. You'll see it's a fairly expensive little pocket knife. So here is the Bokor Plus Tech tool. Now this is not the exact same one that came in BattlBox. The BattlBox one had one more tool than this one has, and I'll explain why this is different. You know what, I'll just do it right now. The one that I gave it to a buddy of mine who was deploying, who wanted to have like a Swiss Army knife. I wanted to save him a couple bucks, and I wanted to make it easy on him, and I would not have given it to him to take on a deployment if I didn't have faith in this as a usable tool. The one that BattlBox sent out had a small pair of pliers on it, which, in all honesty, yeah, it was great. They're not like multi-tool pliers, but at least they're on there. This one does not have pliers, because when I ordered a replacement, I didn't think that they were that effective, so I got the one without pliers. But other than that, everything else on here is the same. Notice, number one, that the G10 on this is really finely machined, really well done. You've got your choice of clip for, I guess you want to call it tip up, tip down carry, but not right hand, left hand. This lanyard hole is actually closable if you don't want that out there. So on the back side of it, you've got corkscrew. You have your awl and your punch right there. For the main tool, on the main side, you've got a blade, which is actually Sandvik 12C27 steel. So not your standard Chinese, you know, crap steel. The blade is 2.75 inches long, so 6.5 inches overall. It's just like any Victorinox kind of standard size Swiss Army knife. It weighs 5.64 ounces overall, the BattlBox one. Look at that, I even nicked myself opening that blade real quick. It's sharp. Very, very sharp right out of the box. Once again, the BattlBox one that they sent, they come in different sizes with different numbers of tools. So you can get one that is just a blade, and you can get one that has 8 different tools in it. And you know, if you look on Amazon, you'll see the price difference. So it has a saw, and this is very similar to the saw that is in the Bundeswehr Swiss Army knife that I showed in another video, but it's a very effective saw, camping saw. Then a small serrated blade with a screwdriver on the end. You've got here a larger flathead screwdriver, bottle opener, and a wire stripper, if you can see that right there. Let me get the saw closed. And then larger than most Swiss Army knife scissors, but spring-loaded and very effective, actually. I've used them on paper only, but pretty nice. So in terms of, you know, these kinds of multi-use knives, this is actually a really, really good product. And it's not as cheap as you would think for something from the Bokor Plus line, which is usually the less expensive of the Bokors. This one that I got on Amazon, and this is specifically, I think, the Bokor Plus Tech 7, $54.95, which is similar to what you'd pay for a Victorinox. The one with the pliers runs $64.95 on Amazon Prime, you know, with free shipping and everything. But you can hunt around a Knife Center and you know, some of the other Blade HQ and see what they got. But not a dirt cheap tool. So you know, people that wanted to talk smack about, oh, it's a fake Bokor, it's not. It's a good knife. I would carry it around, you know, with confidence in uniform, you know, out in the field. Moving into November, that was the Bushcraft box. I love the Bushcraft box because it came with the Pathfinder, like, build-it-yourself knife kit, which was pretty awesome. But that was not the knife of the month. The Tops Knife Cub was the knife of the month. And what I thought was interesting was one of the BattlBox guys even said that this was his favorite field knife. And when I looked at it, I said, it's a little teeny tiny knife, but having used it a little bit and having messed with it, this is a really functional, tough little knife. It's really, I mean, in a survival situation, it's all you need. So let's take a look at this guy. The Tops Knives Cub, I originally thought was just too small for my taste to be very useful, but it is an incredibly well designed, very, very small, very light, so it doesn't take up a lot of space and weight, made in the USA blade. 1095 carbon steel, 3.75 inch blade, 8 inches overall, 5.2 ounces, and these are micarta scales. It's fairly expensive. $116.66 on Amazon Prime, and you might find it cheaper than that. But it's just a really good, simple tool for survival. Really big cutting surface, nice belly on that blade. The sheath that it comes with is very nice. It's got a sharpening stone pouch. It's got a semi-molly attachment system on the back, so nylon sheath, but you've got one large belt loop here and then different attachment styles there. It's very secure, holds everything nice and tight. And this, although simple, is comfortable. It's well weighted, and you can get very, very good fine control on the blade. So you can use it skinning style, you can use it to carve, you can use it to just generally cut, you know, food prep, whatever you need. Really, it's not fancy, but this would be a one size fits all for about, I'd say, 95% of the situations you would be in. Somebody, you know, can probably come up with some situations where it wouldn't work for you if you wanted to, but the Cub is a really good survival tool. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's not my favorite blade in terms of design, but in terms of functionality, I have to say this is a very good choice. So great grind. Again, a little small for my taste handle-wise. Blade too, but I guess, you know, really, again, it's all you need. And even though I'm not a fan of nylon sheaths, this one gives you a lot of options. And yeah, I still love the color of it too. I don't know why. It reminds me of old World War II equipment, but I think that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I realized I just said that whole the Bushcraft run was November, but November was the Camping Comfort. I'm screwed up. You know, December. Okay, forgive me on that one, guys. We're moving into January now. January was the Staying Sharp, the knife sharpening and care box, which had some cool stuff in it. I still haven't gotten around to watching that knife video, but I have used some of the sharpening stuff that came in it, and it's pretty effective. That one came with the CRKT home front, and I know that this knife won a lot of awards last year for innovation and stuff, and this is the one that's got that very quick takedown. I'm not going to do that today. I like CRKT knives. I don't love CRKT because I think a lot of their stuff is very overpriced, but I like the home front. I don't carry it around. I like the design. It's a Ken Onion design, and he's a great designer. The home front was cool for a number of reasons. The big thing was the quick takedown, and you know, on the video where I unboxed it, you can check it out and you can see the takedown feature. I don't want to do it right now because it's easier to do two-handed than one-handed, but it's a very smooth flipper, number one. Opening and closing, very, very smooth. You'll notice there's almost no noise as it opens or closes. Very, very smooth. Nice blade shape, nice big cutting surface. Very, very unique kind of finish on the blade. It almost looks like a hand-rubbed blade, even though I'm sure it's not. I'm trying to capture that finish there. It's like a satiny finish, but there's an element to it that looks just really kind of hand-finished and hand-rubbed. The aluminum scales lighten it up a bit, you know, as opposed to something made with titanium or steel, but it still feels very, very solid. It doesn't feel light like it's going to fly away. It's good. It's good. It's a good piece. Texturing on the back spacer there really lets it bite into the hand, and you can get a really good grip on it. You don't have any choice for clip placement, unfortunately, but that clip is really solid right there. It would be nice if you could position the clip somewhere else, but I guess because of all the mechanics of how it works, you don't get that option. Oddly enough, for CRKT, it's AUS 8 steel. That's a steel that they don't use very often, but there you go. It's a 3.5-inch long blade, 8.3 inches overall, and it weighs 4.8 ounces, but it doesn't feel like that at all. Not at all. It feels much lighter. 6061 aluminum handles. Kind of pricey. I found it on Amazon Prime for $76.95. You can, like I said before, there are a lot of different blade styles now. Well, not a lot. There's 2 or 3 different blade styles. There's a Tonto. There's a couple others that you can look at if you really like it. But Ken Onion, you know, he's not with us anymore, but brilliant blade designer. And this is one of his last major designs. I just can't really say much about it in terms of functionality out in the field because I haven't carried it around. I haven't done anything with it. But it's a nice knife, and it's really well placed in BattlBox. I was pretty impressed that they got this highly award-winning knife and put it in there. You know, because this is kind of this was the cool kid on the block at the time. February was the Camp Chef box, which I still have not used a single item from. Not a one. That camp stove is great, but I haven't gone camping, haven't used it. The stupid spice triangle was stupid, and I said it in the review, was stupid. The utensil set, okay, that's great. Serving set, that's great. I just haven't used anything from it. But it did come with a cool knife of the month, and that's the Utica knife UTK, I know I'm saying that wrong, UTKS4. And this is probably the saving grace of that box. This is a fantastic knife. UTKS4 is a 1095 carbon steel blade, 4.5-inch blade, 9.6 inches overall, and it weighs 15.7 ounces with micarta handles. It's another knife that doesn't feel that heavy, and although this looks like a metal bolster, and it even feels like a metal bolster, it's also micarta. Not much to say about this, except it's another one of those good, solid, all-purpose knives. And there is an F-15 executing a high G turn over there, and that is the sound of freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Really makes me want to be back out in the field. In any case, nice choil on this one. The weight is distributed really, really well and really well balanced. This is made in the USA, so I like that. This is another one where there are multiple sizes. I think I already said that previously though. So I'm looking to upgrade to the 5-inch. I think the 6-inch looks just a little bit too big, but the 5-inch looks like it'd be a good one. It's, you know, full tang all the way through. So there is some weight to it, but again, it's well distributed. Kydex sheath is very secure, and you've got your fire starting material right there. So in here, so you've got the rod there, and then you've got a little striker that you can strike that rod with for fire starting. I just don't have the tech lock installed, but it comes with the full tech lock to put on there. So this is something that I'm excited to use out in the field. I've just done some basic testing with it, but it's got the nice black oxide coating, which is going to protect that carbon steel pretty well unless you wear it away. So this is another one where just little features like this jimping on the bottom to really hold on to it well. I can't swear to how it functions in a field environment, but from what I've seen and what I've done with it so far, I'm really pleased with it, and this is a knife I can really recommend. And you know, I'll do another video if I get it in the field and put it through some really rough use, but I really like it so far. These are very proudly stamped made in the USA, and these are, you know, all made up in my hometown, or not my hometown, but my home state of New York. And just, I cannot describe how the feel, the weight, and the balance of this is just perfect. I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to actually carry this around and use it somewhere. Did you note the thickness of that blade? This just, it feels like a super rock solid knife. So I really like this, and I think I'm gonna order the 5-inch just to get a little bit longer reach on that blade and test that out too. This is a great knife. The rest of that camp box, I thought it was kind of, again, novelty and cool, mostly useless. This is great. The EDC 2.0. And they had some good items in it. You remember I had like the pile of I like it and I don't like it, and there's some stupid items, there's some good items. The O-Light is a great flashlight. I love that flashlight. It's probably the item I use the most from that box. The knife of the month for that box was the Bastion Brazo folder. And this feels like a knife that you get from a mid-tech, you know, a custom knife designer that has a mid-tech line. I'm still in love with this knife. This is one of the greatest knives BattlBox has ever put in a box. And I mean that sincerely. I would put this up against a Hinderer, a Benchmade, a Strider, any of those guys any day. So let's take a closer look at this. The Brazo might be my favorite knife of the month of all time that I've gotten so far. This is a really rugged, really smooth, really nice looking folder. It's got style to it. I've used it, I've carried it. It's made out of great materials. The bearing system that it's on, it's just lightning quick. It is so smooth. I love flipping it. I just love opening it and closing it. It feels great. So you've got a D2 heavy duty steel blade, of course carbon steel, 3 3/4 inch blade, 8 1/4 inches overall, 7.7 ounces. It's titanium coated stainless steel handle, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. It retails for about $122. And that's from the Bastion website. I couldn't find it, you know, on another store's website. It has great engineering. It has great looks. Clip is very, very secure. It is wicked, wicked sharp. And it's just a fantastic blade for EDC use, for carrying around. You can see I have actually carried this. I don't know if it's coming out and used it. Of all the knives of the month, it is the one that has gotten the most use. I fell in love with it right away. So the Bastion, for those of you who ask, what's your favorite? You know, what have you liked the best? The Bastion Brazo folder, this is my favorite. Absolutely, hands down. Of all the things I've gotten in BattlBox, this is the one. It's a great knife. Join me for the last knife of the video, and he's eating a donut, and I don't have a donut. That's not fair. We got to get this guy a haircut today, because he looks kind of like a dirty hippie.
Your face is dirty hippie.
That's what I deal with all day long. I trained him like that. It's my own fault. Thanks. So anyway, the Brazo is a great knife. It's not cheap, but again, I would put this up against a lot of the more expensive folders with confidence. It's great. The only thing is it's high carbon blade instead of a stainless blade, so you might have to give it a little bit more care and maintenance, but it's awesome. So Aiden, would you like to open this box?
Okay. Can you put my donut?
I'm gonna eat your donut.
I'll get you your own donut.
Okay. You have donut on your face.
How do I open this?
See that thing? Open that right there. There you go. Now why don't you take that out? And can you open it up on the camera? Yeah, tell them what it is.
It's actually more like a shaving knife.
Yeah?
Like a real knife.
What do you think of it?
I don't think it's really that good if you can't protect yourself with it.
Why do you think we can't protect ourselves with it?
Because it's only a shaving knife.
Oh. It's only a shaving knife. You heard it from Aiden right there. Which is your favorite knife of all these knives?
Oh, I didn't see any.
Okay, well, why don't you take your donut and take a look at them, and then you can tell us which is your favorite.
It's
Go
my
ahead.
favorite.
Why is it your favorite?
Because it's huge and it looks like you can protect yourself from a bear with it.
We do have bears out here. That's good. That's a good thought. All right. Thanks for your input. It is appreciated. The whole internet now is going to know that you want to protect yourself from a bear with them. You're famous.
Okay.
He's a good boy. He's a really good boy. He helps out a lot. And the final knife we're looking at today, the Brass Blades Mini Cami, which I liked, and I understand a lot of people did not like for some reason. Number one, I like that this thing is, it's not necessarily custom made, but it's limited. And from what I understand, it was made just for BattlBox, which is pretty cool. Only 6,000 of them were made. I just discovered that there's a serial number on it, which is, I didn't realize that before. So I don't know if you could see it there, but 1,844 of 6,000. It's a very simple knife. I think it's got kind of an elegant style to it. It was part of the DOP kit, right? So I guess it's supposed to kind of straight razor-ish, you know? Got a 2-inch blade, and it looks longer than 2 inches to me, but those are the stats I looked up. But 2-inch blade, 4 inches overall. Copper handle, weighs only 2 ounces, and this is another one that doesn't feel like it weighs 2 ounces. It feels like it weighs nothing. As for price, it's hard to tell because they're not sold regularly, so I really couldn't find anything that would let me know what it's worth or what it sells for. So I kind of found some auctions on eBay where people were selling them. So I found one that sold for $94.35, and I saw one that was in the process for selling for $123.50, and I saw one that was listed for, you know, buy it now at $130. So I'm really not sure overall. But you've got a D2 carbon steel blade with this slip joint design. I really like it. I just think there's something about it it's kind of cool. It is very, very, very razor sharp. You could actually shave with it if you wanted. I don't know if I would carry it around. I have carried it around in my pocket just to, you know, have it and try it. I don't know if this would be a great EDC blade. I don't know how functional it would be, but I mean, really, if you think about it, if you're just gonna cut boxes and open stuff around, you know, things like that, I guess it would serve the purpose. It's unique. I like the fact that it's a very unique blade, and I think it was well suited to the DOP kit. So there you go. 1 year, 12 really nice pieces of equipment. For the most part, you know, one I wasn't so thrilled with. But this has always been my favorite part of getting BattlBox, is the knife of the month. Even when the knife of the month is not a knife but a multi-tool. My first 12 months of BattlBox have gone by with me very, very happy with the knife of the month, even when the rest of the box has been somewhat lacking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of wrap up of these blades. I guess I'll see you again next year for the next 12 months. So thanks for watching as always, guys. I'll be back again real soon.